good evening, and welcome to the Society as we try to get ourselves live and kicking out to you clearly, solving some of our technical issues. Fingers crossed this will be the time. So, to give you a recap on what is going on and where we are, I will bring up our lovely players. Here we go. We should all be here looking fabulous. So we are... Just tweak that a tiny bit. There you go. So we are in a bit of a situation. Through their investigation, our brave souls have discovered that have been able to talk to the being that lives in the mountain, discovering then that Ensum is the last of their kind. Or so it would appear, as during the conversation it becomes apparent that Ensum has a child that has been stashed and concealed as a mortal in the village for safekeeping, a child that is now in great peril. Ensum, the being that lives in the mountain, has tasked the brave souls with a challenging task indeed. Rescue and return the child. Or Ensum will wipe the village from the face of the earth in a fit of rage and anger and retribution. Coming down from the mountain, our intrepids restart the day and head straight towards Benedicta's house, where Quentin suffers a significant mental breakdown and slips unconscious. The party realizes they will have to separate. Dagmar and Morton head straight to the church to try and rescue the child, leaving Quentin alone in Benedicta's house. Confronting the Hexerjäger in the church who has incarcerated the child and following her down into the crypt, Dagmar makes an inflammatory accusation about warmongering devotion to religion and its use as a weapon. In the stunned silence that follows as this accusation rings out into silence, Morton makes a quick play to restrain the Hexerjäger in the hopes of gaining control over the situation and maybe being able to rescue the child. We're going to dive straight in as we head into initiative. So press that button, press this button, press that button. Here we go. So, in Vaesen, initiative is done by the draw of a card. I have dished out the cards to each of the players, and we will put it into the turn order. Okay. Hopefully you can all see that. Morton, you're going first, as you are the instigator of the combat by trying to grab the Hexerjäger. So we need to make a contested force roll to see whether you are able to overpower her. Now I'm going to quickly look like I know what I'm doing while I navigate desperately into a character sheet.
One's across the board, surely. Just one dice each time. No weapons, no armor. That'd be nice.
Okay. So, do your force roll.
So, do I get the benefit of a modifier because of my tough of nails, which is +2 to force rolls when I'm unarmed in combat?
Yes, it would indeed apply. Ooh,
so do I
nice.
Just put that in modifier? So when I get the modifier box, I just put 2 in there.
Yep, you just put 2 in there, and it will add 2 additional dice to your roll.
Come on.
There we go.
Oh,
Needed them.
Okay, you have one success. Right, let me roll mines. Ooh, I do not have good force.
Force is
Okay.
not strong.
Ooh, we have a tie. Let's have a little sneaky peek as to what we do in a tie.
Don't even see your roll.
Yeah, I didn't see your roll.
No.
Oh, did you not?
It's not on the screen either.
Oh, that's why.
Still says logic on the
I'm
screen.
sorry, that was my fault. I had a button ticked that meant it only rolled to me from the previous shenanigans.
Maybe you should roll again then.
Okay,
He
maybe
might get
I
two.
will. I
They
might get
They
better.
might get two. They
Oh,
might
shit,
get better. Yeah.
Oh, I got worse.
Nope.
Look at that. Do you know what? We'll go with that roll because it means that I won't need to rummage around inside the rules in some desperate attempt to try and solve the problem.
Zero.
Okay. So you are able to grab the Hexajaeger and you are able to restrain her. And this is when our combat begins. You leap in. Describe how you want to restrain her.
I obviously standing facing her. She's looking stunned. I'm going to kind of dive forward or step forward and try and literally sort of try and get my arms around her so I can actually sort of put her in a bit of a headlock. Put my arm behind her and put her into a headlock. Sort of swing around and get her so she's in a headlock position so she can't actually move anywhere at all.
Alright. Okay, so it goes to the Hexajaeger's turn, and the first thing that she is going to try and do is spend a fast action to try and break free from you. So we do another force roll, and yes, you do still get your bonus for tough as nails.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh! Okay, so because it is me trying to break free, I have to roll more successes than you, and I haven't because they're the same. So she remains restrained. She is going to use her. She is just going to, because she's restrained, she can't do any other action. She's going to shout. She's going to try and shout at the top of her voice. For you to unhand her. And we will move to Dagmar. Dagmar, what would you like to do?
I want to use, as a slow action, I want to use Survey the Situation. I want to, with obviously the Hexajaeger restrained in front of me, can I see anything upon their person, be that a weapon or something like keys?
Yeah, absolutely.
What they slipped into their sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a vigilance roll.
Ah, shit.
That's a little loud. I'll turn that down a bit. Okay. Oh, okay. So in the tussle, and in the struggle for the Hexajaeger to try to break free, if you remember, she is wearing a kind of weird combination of hunter's clothes, but also like a priest cassock, like almost a hooded robe. In the commotion, you are unable to see anything about her person. You can see that she is wearing a belt, and that she is lightly armored, probably just by like hunting leathers. She has got several things attached to that belt, but what they are, you're not sure. You are, however, almost certain that she is armed in some way, but you're not sure how. So that's your slow action. You do have a fast action.
In which case, Dagmar's going to stand not immediately in front, but just slightly in front, maybe about a meter away, and draw out their knife. Just a comment of, stop this madness.
Absolutely.
Call this off. You're going to kill everybody.
Okay, I also realise I haven't shown you your zones for movement, so I'll just pop those up now so you can see them. So inside the white lines is classes as a single zone for movement. Okay, Morton.
Sorry, I was just going to ask. Did we ascertain last time that the doorway to the cell is it locked with a key, or is it just like a bolt that can't be reached from the inside? Okay.
Yeah, it's got one of those like it's like a big it's a metal grill wall. So it's like lots of metal, horizontal and vertical metal bars, and there's a door that kind of fits into it that's built in the same fashion, and there's a padlock on it.
Oh, yeah.
Morton, you're up.
Okay, so I obviously want to keep hold of her.
Yep.
So does that take one of my actions to keep
No,
hold of her?
it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't take any. It doesn't take you any action. But you are also not able to take any other action than to keep holding her. So you do get the. Before I'm just saying that out loud now, and I'm thinking I should probably just check that. Here we go.
I
Okay.
noticed in the fast action it does say hold, which is a force skill.
Okay.
Because what I would like to do is try to persuade her if I am able.
So you use hold as an action, which I believe is a fast action. So you need to do a force check to see if you can keep hold. Apparently. Oh no! Wait.
No.
That's a reaction, which means you can do that. That is the response to break free, I think.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah, so when if someone tries to break free, I think you can use the hold action. Let me just check. This is, incidentally, stream, the reason we're having a little pause and I'm flicking through the rulebook, this is the first time I think we've had a grapple. Okay.
Yeah. Breaking new ground.
Yes. So it is. So if I use break free, you have to use hold in order to try and keep hold, and then we do opposed rolls.
Yes. So that's what we did
Yeah.
on their turn.
Yes.
On the Hextiager's turn. So
Yeah.
does that use up my fast action? My
yes,
turn?
it does.
Because I've reacted to that because I'm holding. So
Yeah.
do I still get? I still
You
get my
do now.
slow action.
So now you get your fast and slow actions because you would have carried your. When we entered into initiative, you would have had a slow action that was to grab, and you didn't use your fast action, and you did as a reaction. So now you can. So now, because it's your turn, you start again. You have both your fast and slow actions available.
All I'm going to do is maintain my hold on her, but
Okay.
I would like to try and persuade her, and I'd like quite calmly, as I feel like I've got her in a hold. I'd like to say, we do not wish to harm, but the actions you are taking could harm everybody, yourself and us included.
Ooh.
You are going to allow my friend to find the key to that lock, and we are going to leave here with that child.
Okay, so that's using the persuade action, so give me a manipulation roll. Oh, nice. Okay. I know, right? Okay, so she is going to stare dagger eyes at Dagmar, but she does stop like thrashing around in your arms. So she She stands completely still and stares dagger eyes at Dagmar. It is the Hexajäger's turn. She is going to... Yeah, she is just going to stand completely still and give, like, dagger eyes at Dagmar. And then it will be Dagmar's turn.
So she ain't giving anything up.
Nope, she just stares at you, but she stands completely still. So she stops trying to fight her way free, and she just stands still.
This is badass
Okay.
whole music.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Okay, right. Dagmar's going to step right in front of the Hexajäger. I guess that's using a fast action.
Yes, to move within a zone. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he's then going to begin searching the pockets and belt loops of the Hexajägers to try and find the key or any concealed weaponry that they can take.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the you are able to find on the Hexajäger's belt that she has a, I'm gonna say dagger. Like, at first it looks like it's gonna be like a hunting knife, the sort of thing that you would carry when you are out on the hunt in the wild to either protect yourself or to have the utility of using it with your catch. But when you see it really clearly and are able to kind of handle it, you realize that this is not a hunting knife at all. This is a dagger, and it has got some ceremony around it. In the hilt of the dagger, there is the hilt is made out of a deep brown wood with a small pommel, and there is that small pommel has on it like printed a rose motif. You also are able to find the keys.
I guess I'm not allowed to take any of those because I've used my actions, is that right?
So you can take two fast actions. So your action to move, and then your second action can be you get to draw weapon is another fast action. So I would be happy for you to basically take both of those things.
Okay.
Ooh. Yes, I'm going to stick with what I said. I'd be happy for you to take both of those things, and she does not resist.
Okay, I'm going to take both.
Okay. So you take the dagger and the keys, and that is the end of your turn. Morton, you're up.
Okay, so still maintaining the hold on her. Again, calmly, Morton goes, "Well, that wasn't very difficult, now was it?" And then Dagmar, open the cell. That's all I'm going to do.
Okay, as you say this, Morton, you're able to catch a glimpse of the child in the cell. This child that you are gifted with the sight, so you are able to see past the mortal world and into the other world. And this child has unquestionably got some features about her that you can see that this is not truly a human child. She is kind of on the bed, kind of She's pulled her legs up. She's cowering from the kind of the drama that is unfolding. And as you say to Dagmar to open the cell, it is the Hexajager's turn, and she is going to use her fast action to try to break free, like immediately at that moment. So, do you want to use your fast action to try and keep hold?
I do indeed.
All
yes.
right,
Yeah.
lovely. It is contested rolls. Oh, I rolled like garbage again.
Jesus.
Nice.
Okay, so she like lunges to try and break free from your grip, and as she does so, she shouts at the top of her voice, "Do not release the child, you will doom us all." And it is your turn, Dagmar.
I'm going to immediately unlock the door.
Okie dokie. So
Is that
you
slow action?
I believe it's a fast action is to unlock a door.
Yeah, I guess that falls the same as close a door. So
Yes.
it'd be sort of that category, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So you're able to turn and unlock the door. You've still got either one slow or one fast action, which I guess you're then going to want to open the door, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So those would be your two fast actions, is to unlock the door and then open the door. Do you want to say anything?
I'm just going to slightly be having slightly crouched when opening the door. I'm going to beckon to the child just to, to say, "Quick, come with us. We want to take you to your father."
Okay. You see a little face pop up from behind from knees, and you can see the telltale streaks of tears illuminated by the lamplight down here. And the tears are like, they've got those carved lines where she's got like a dirty face, and you can see where the tears have kind of carved cleanliness into the dirt. But those eyes that stare at you from behind her knees are dark, inky abysses. Morton, it's your turn.
Okay. So now the door is open.
Mm-hmm.
Morton is going to try to maneuver the Hexajager towards the door,
Mm-hmm.
take her into the cell. That's the action I'd like to
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, I'm gonna get you to do another force roll. It won't be a contested one because I've used my fast action, but you will need a success in order to be able to kind of try and force this woman into the cell.
take. And do I still get my bonus?
Yes, because it's force rolls in unarmed combat, so yes. So she is flailing inside your arms. It is taking everything you've got just to keep hold of her. There is no way that you're going to be able to force her into this. There's no way you're going to be able to force her into this prison while she's you're barely keeping hold of her. She's flailing so hard. Okay. Anything else, Morton?
What was that? Is that classed as that's still as a hold? Is it? So is that a grapple, as in a slow reaction, a slow action, or wrestle?
Yeah,
Wrestle,
I would say
grapple,
that's a wrestle. So that was a slow action.
slow action. So I can shout a few words, and I will just say, "Just calm down. You're not going anywhere."
Okay. It is is not the Hexajager's turn. It is the child's turn because she got a 1 on her initiative. Those inky abyssal eyes that stared at you, Dagmar, as you opened the bars, they flick from yours to the Hexajager's, and the little child says, in a little voice, the child says, yes, calm down. Otherwise, that anger might burn you alive. And now I'm going to need to do a roll.
Oh, no.
Now I need to do a roll.
We've unleashed hell.
Huzzah!
Okay, so there's no... I don't get any bonuses.
It's chaos and I love it.
Okay. As the little child says, your anger might burn you alive, she stands up and begins to walk towards the door. But that's her fast and her slow action. It is Anita's turn. That's the Hexajager.
Ooh. First name basis.
Yeah, first name. I'm definitely on first name basis. The little child walks forward, staring into the Hexajager's eyes as she speaks. The Hexajager goes still in your arms, Morton, and Dagmar. As you see the scene unfold, you see a look of pure terror appear on Anita, on the Hexajager's face. Her eyes go wide in fear, and then she lets out the most horrifying scream of agony that rips through the underground crypt of this church. It echoes across the wall, through the walls, blood curdling. And I have just realized I haven't done the really important roll, which is the roll for... Okay. Perfect.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
The blood-curdling scream doesn't kind of end, like, the Hexajager is just screams, breathes, and then screams more. It is pure agony, it is pure terror, and it is pure horror. She is going to thrash around in your arms, Morton, but she's not able to make any coherent action. So it is Dagmar's turn. As you see this child walk, hear the child speak, and then the terrifying scream.
I think Dagmar's going to engage the angry child with an emphasis on stop this. This woman has accused you of being evil. We want to reunite you with your family and stop the hostilities and all the cruelty that's happening to everybody. Don't prove them right. Come with us. Release her.
Okay, that's the persuade action. Give me a manipulation roll. Ooh, nice.
One.
Nice. Okay. Right, anything else, Dagmar?
What was that? That was a slow roll, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a slow, so you can you get fast action.
I guess Dagmar's just going to step back to encourage the child out, because obviously Morton's got hold of this Hexajaeger and we want to get the Hexajaeger into the cell. And then that'll be it.
Okay. Morton, I'm going to need you to give me I'm going to need you to give me a force check, because although the Hexajaeger isn't able to take any action, she is thrashing around in your arms like she is on fire. And this. Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, nice. So she, startled by the scream and this woman thrashing in your arms, she kind of breaks free of your grip, but she doesn't do anything. She just thrashes around as if she was on fire. You do get your, you get to take your turn as normal. This was a sneaky check.
Okay. So taking a step back from the Hexajaeger, but I'm going to swing onto the child and I'm going to say, no, nobody gets hurt here. You have been in enough pain as it is, and there has been enough pain. We hope to return you to your father, but no one gets hurt here. Release her.
Okay. It is the little child's turn. I'm going to use a fast action to step through the door. She is going to come right up to you, Morton, staring these dark, inky eyes, these abyssal eyes, flick from the Hexajaeger to you, Morton. And then there is, and you see the tears on this little child's face, and she says, "It's not me that's hurting her. It's her anger that will burn her up from the inside out. But I don't want anyone else. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I just want to go home." And you see the Hexajaeger crumple to the floor, as if she had suddenly fallen unconscious. She just hits the deck, and there is silence that echoes through the chamber as we come out of initiative.
That was intense.
Yeah.
What?
That was insane.
And breathe.
We will tell your father, young lady.
And
And this is
Morton-
this is exactly where we are going to cut over
yeah, I thought so.
to a bedroom
What?
where a certain someone is sitting on the floor, propped up on sitting on the floor, back propped up against the foot of the bed, lit by a gentle lamplight, as Quentin regains consciousness, and you can see these two mousy little faces looking at you in puzzlement, really, at your strange question about the children, which is what you kind of garbled as you regained consciousness.
You just sort of stare at them, waiting for an answer, as he just slowly, like, his brain just starts ticking back to what has actually happened.
One of the little Vaeta turns to the other, turns to the one who is kind of rubbing their little mousy paws together, brushing off the last of the dandelion fluff, and he says, "I think you've addled his brain." "I have not." And then as you speak, they both turn to look at you again.
I feel my brain was addled much before you arrived.
See, I told you it wasn't me.
Where are the others?
Gone.
How long ago?
They both look at each other, and then they look back at you. Ages.
Oh, I didn't hear you there, Luke. I don't know what happened to my headphones. Sorry.
Ages. Did you hear me then?
Ages. Ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, God. Okay. Well, I thank you. I'm a little better, but I think it's going to be a while until I'm all there again. And I will try and stand up. I know it's a mental thing, but I feel like I would be drained beyond anything.
Yeah. On wobbly legs and uncertain feet, you use the bed to assist you in getting back onto your feet.
I have to find them. And he is like, he's piecing everything back together in his head. Everything that's happened the last few days. And then he notices where he is. And he remembers that there were 3 cups and what has been said over the past few days. And after Mr. Kirkaby's thing about his wife, it getting worse in the last couple of days, and thinking about the partially drunk cup, he's going to be like, maybe this could add up. And I will use elementary to try and tie together whether the Hexjaeger poisoned the tea to try and get people out of the way for the child.
Ooh, good one. Okay, so for those of you who are joining us for the first time, Quentin, who is our private detective, you're a PI, aren't you? Private investigator, has a talent called elementary, which allows Quentin to ask me once per session how 2 things link together, and I have to tell the truth. So you are, and I'm just going to clarify, you are asking whether you can deduce a link between the Hexjaeger poisoning the tea because of Mrs. Kirkby becoming very unwell.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like to think that the image here is that very famous meme where Quentin frowns a little bit and maths appears around Quentin as Quentin tries to puzzle this together. But that, sadly, is not what happens. Instead, Quentin, you stagger to the door of the bedroom, and as you do so, you kind of you look around the corner and see the living room, the victim, the 3 cups, the Kirkbys, the Hexajaeger, and everything that you know. The Hexajaeger is trying to convince the town that they must fight off the evil in the mountain. The Hexajaeger has come to deal with the child. You also remember all the things you read on Benedicta's desk about medicine and childhood illness and those sort of things, and you suddenly realize the Hexajaeger is going to need some sort of proof that the child is evil in order to deal with the child. What better way than causing calamity to the very family the child belongs? Calamity in so much as, first of all, the kindly healer in the village that's trying to heal and save this child suddenly dies mysteriously. And then a tragedy befalls the family. You're almost certain, without shadow of the doubt, the Hexajaeger tried to poison the tea. Not the tea itself, but the herbs. That would be the best way to bring calamity. But you need to prove it.
Yeah.
This is just a theory. You know that you're going to need hard evidence to prove this theory.
Yeah. He will very quickly sort of run over to where he's going to steal himself because he knows what he's going to see over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try and sort of rush over and he'll grab the lantern before he runs in. If I can move that. Yeah. It's just... Thank you again. And just runs. And he wants to see if he can work out what herbs we used in the tea so he could look to see if there was any more of them sort of on the shelf or anything like that. Anything he can find to prove. Anything he can link. But he's going to work fast because he knows his friends may be in danger.
Okay. Give me that investigation check.
My investigation. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, mental health, don't fail me now. I would be feeling so confident about this role if it wasn't for what happened to me. Ooh! Yes, died.
Ooh, okay, so describe what it is you're specifically kind of doing and looking at, and then I will give you the answer.
He's trying to identify the other herbs that we use. So if the herbs, he thinks the herbs have been poisoned, he's trying to work out which ones he needs to look for to see if he can find if they have actually been tampered with.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So you know that, so you grab up this teapot and you open the lid of this teapot and begin puzzling over what's inside this teapot, trying to work out what it is. Like, how are you going to find out what are the plants in it? What was the tea made out of? Trying to, like, work out the issue, like, puzzle this out, find the proof. And you realize there's that smell. That really intense smell.
Yeah, the almondy.
The almonds. You don't need to work out what leaves are in this tea. You don't need to work out what plants went into it. You need to work out, there's a whole pantry full of plants. Does one of those smell the same?
Yes. And
so you are able very quickly to head back round into the pantry and unstopper a few of the jars and tins and lids and bottles and those sort of things that you have in front of you, and you open them and look through all the lids. And as you open one that says on the side, it says Linden, which is a well-known tea. The smell wafts out of it unmistakably.
Is there anything else, like, in or around the jar to link to who has done this? I'm guessing if I've had Linden before, I'd know it does not smell like this usually.
No, it doesn't. It's a sort of herby leaf kind of tea. So it's very odd.
Dust for prints.
That would be dusting for prints would be useful, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, is there anything around?
There is a strange, like, there's a strange sort of sticky mark on the inside of the jar, as if someone had deposited like a small amount of liquid, something sticky, into this jar of herb.
Yeah.
The only way that you're going to be able to tie this together is to hope that
she still has it. Yeah, with that, I guess he will grab the jar and put it in my bag, and I will just yell to the waiter, "Thank you, my friends. Thank you. I owe you a debt. There will be more sweets in it for you if this day goes well." And then I will chuck 2 hard-boiled sweets on the floor and scarper.
And scarper. You're going to dash towards the church. Okay. And in that case, then, we are going to rejoin. We're going to rejoin our little church debacle. Quiet falls on the crypt once more. The little child that has just walked right up to you, Morton, looks up at you with tear-strewn face, but voids for eyes. There's a little smile, and then she looks to Dagmar and then to you again and says in her little voice, "Can I go home now?"
Dagmar's just gonna sort of crouching down with both hands out, just to offer consolation to this child. Say, of course, we're here to take you home. Your father misses you. Come hold my hand. Let's find a way to get you back to your family.
Okay. I'm going to need you to give me...
Damn
Ooh, it's going to be a roll, and I feel like it's going to be an inspiration roll.
Okay. Shit.
Ooh. Okay, cool. She frowns a little bit. She frowns a little bit at you, and then she frowns a little bit, and she says, "What about Mummy?"
Morton will chip in. He'll say, "Your mother and father are. Your mother, particularly, is indisposed at the moment. Your father is waiting. He's very eager to see you again. We must get you to him, and hopefully, he will be with your mother." And without waiting for a response for this, I'm going to kneel next to the Hexajager and try and check her pulse and see if she's still alive.
Okay, give me a manipulation roll for just all of that. The whole thing.
Wow.
Nice. Okay, so you bob down, and you're able to kind of surreptitiously check the pulse of the Hexajager and talk to the changeling child at the same time. The Hexajager's pulse is weak, but it's definitely there. The little child does a big sniff and kind of wipes her nose on the back of her, like the little sleeve of her little smock dress, and then she reaches out a hand to you, Morton.
Morton's a little uncomfortable, and won't take the hand. He'll just say, "We need to just move this woman into the cell. We cannot have her going anywhere in our absence and causing any more problem or hurt. I hope you understand. And then we will go find your father as fast as possible."
Let me help you move this woman into the cell. And child, if you want to step to one side, we'll make sure you're safe.
She kind of looks at the pair of you, looks at the Hexajager, looks at the pair of you, sucks in her bottom lip as if she's going to have a little cry, and then she looks at you, Morton, and says, "Only if you hold my hand."
I will hesitantly take her hand and move her to one side to allow Dagmar to be able to move the Hexajager into the cell.
Wow.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, and she does. She does move out of the way. And you are able to kind of drag the Hexajager in. Where would you like to, where are you going to put her?
I'm going to put her on this makeshift bed.
Okay, cool. Good shout. Plonk her there. All right.
I actually can't get my character through the barrier, but
Just chuck her.
I threw her from here and nailed it.
Nailed it.
3 point.
Nailed it. But then once I've like tried to make sure this Hexiabe is at least respectably in a comfy position on this bed, I want to go through all of their pockets and belongings because I know I did in the midst of a struggle. But I want to go through and see what I can find in their pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little bit of money. There is a tightly bound small book, and as you kind of flick through the pages, you see it is like it's a selection of like sermons and prayers and censers and kind of, you realize that this is a book about performing exorcisms and kind of like all the like how to identify like demons and devils and almost like a handbook, one would imagine. The only other thing that you find the only other thing that you find on this on the Hexiager is a cross, and it is a it's a very unusual looking cross. I've got a handout for it.
The vial. Damn it.
I've got it. It's coming.
It's in the cross. It's a hip flask.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's nice.
So there is it is a gothic feeling cross made out of iron, and on top of it is the outline of a rose, and the cross this outline of the rose seems to have been filled with something that looks a little bit like it might be glass, or it's not precious stones or anything like that, but it's filled with like maybe a glass or an enamel that is red. It is about, I'd say 3 inches tall. And you find one other thing. There is a little bottle, it's less like a bottle, it's more like a vial. There's a little vial with a cork, and whatever was in it has been tipped out, but there is like a residue left behind. What would you like to do with all of these items?
I'm going to pocket the money.
Proud of you.
Is there anything else about this cross that's unusual? It's just quite ornate and beautiful, but there's no kind of like way of manipulating it or changing it. It just feels decorative, ornamental. It's clearly there is some religious symbolism to it. Yeah. But interestingly, given everything else in the village, the Christianity cross-based symbolism was destroyed. This one isn't marked in any way.
It's not damaged in any way.
Okay. I'm going to take all the items. Can I just remove the cork and inspect
the
contents? Probably taking a smell.
As soon as you remove the cork and take a smell, the smell of almond appears. And it reminds you immediately of the smell in the very subtle smell. I feel like I need to clarify. The almond smell is very subtle, but because you're all looking for it almost, it's very easy to smell. This vial, on the other hand, is quite strong smell.
Murderous bitch.
Inspector Dagmar.
That's me. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take all of the items, kind of like evidence, apart from the money, which I'm going to put straight into my pocket. And then I'm going to leave the room, shut the door, and with the keys, I'm going to relock the door.
Okay.
And then once all of that's secure and I'm confident that the Hexjäger isn't going anywhere, I'm going to very sort of gently say to Morton this woman has a vial on her that smells very much like the smell of the tea we think is used on our unfortunate friend. I think we might have evidence and a suspect as to who may have caused the original case. Obviously avoiding like any words like death and murder, because I don't want to scare the child.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I see that we may have solved this case, but it's not going to solve our problem.
No.
Let's be heading up the mountain, I believe.
We should probably be aware of the priest when we leave this crypt. We're going to have to explain why the Hexjäger's locked up.
Yes.
I'll keep the keys upon my person. We don't want her being released just yet.
We definitely don't want that happening right this time. Let's go up and see. Well, the priest. I think we can manage the priest. And I'll turn to the child and go, we're going to have to go up the mountain to find your father. Unfortunately, this lady in the cell has caused a bit of a stir within the town, and your father has gone up the mountain. So to take you to him, that is where we need to go. Come with us.
She reaches out her little hand.
I know I shall put my hand in hers, again uncomfortably, and stroll off at quite a pace.
I
Much
really
like
love
a-
this relationship.
And with that, we are going to take a little break. So we are going to dash off and take a little break, so we can have a short rest, roll some hit die, take some health potions and the like, all the important things that you do when you take a short rest. It's 2:15. We will be back at 10 o'clock. How does that sound, players? Where are you? You're over here.
Yeah.
Sounds
All
good.
right,
Sounds
we will
good.
be back at 10 o'clock. So see you then.
Finally correct it.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back from our short rest. We've eaten some consumables and rolled our hit dice, and we are ready for more mystery solving this session. So let's bring back our players, and we're actually going to dive straight into the land of mappage. He says, and look at that. That's my Streamlabs, everybody. There you go.
Beautiful.
So genius. I'm so pro streamer. # pro streamer. Everyone. Oh, and we're going to dive straight back into the church as Dagmar and Morton climb the ladder out of the crypt and surface back into the church. There are a number of villagers still dotted around the church deep in prayer, and the priest is kneeling at the altar giving some prayers. As you climb up out of the thing with the child, the priest turns to look at you all in surprise, and then when you close the grate and there is no Hexajäger, his eyebrows knit together and his face darkens, and he says, "Where is Mrs. Morganson? What have you done with her?"
Do not be alarmed. Do not be alarmed, Father. She is safe and downstairs, where she cannot harm or incite any more anger among people.
The door to the church swings open with its ominous creak, and as you look to the door, you see a Quentin kind of fumble in through the door clearly in a rush.
He stumbles in, clutching like a jar of tea. Where is your god? Wow, where is she? Where are my friends?
And you can see the scene before you. There are several people dotted around the pews, and they are all broken from their prayers, and they turn to and they all turn and look in surprise at your arrival, as do Dagmar, Morton, the priest, and the little child, who even from this distance, Quentin, you can see looks at you with inky black eyes.
I will storm, but like looking half dead, like down the aisle.
And their faces, these empty faces filled with naught but fear, follow you. The eyes tentatively looking in panic and concern at what new problem will arise with your arrival. You feel their eyes boring into you as you walk the length of the church and arrive just before the altar.
Father, I need to know what you knew of what the Hexajäger has done. I have disturbing news from Benedicta's house. And then he'll glance aside. I am so glad you're both alive. I guess this is the child she kidnapped.
You feel a little tug on your hand, Morton, and a little voice emanates from your side. Who's this?
Ah, my child, this is Quentin Ludensberg. He is a great man. He is here to help. He will help you get back to your father, just as we are. I turn to Quentin and go, we are safe. It was a little traumatic. We believe we can find the child's father
Good.
hopefully they will be reunited. What have you found?
I will walk forward and I will sort of usher the father to come in a bit closer to not make a huge scene in front of the whole church, even though I've just made a huge scene in front of
everyone. As he walks forward, he says, he says, I understand that I will speak plainly. Is Mrs. Morganson safe and well?
She is safe. Unfortunately, she is. I could not say well, but she is alive, and I'm sure she will recover from whatever ails her. However, we have locked her in the cell.
This ailment is not... You are not at fault. You have not caused this.
No.
Then I will listen to what you have to say.
I will open the jar. Have a sniff of this, Father.
He peers into the jar first and looks up at you and says, "It is linden. I know what linden smells like."
You have not smelled linden like this, though.
He frowns a little and leans forward to take a sniff. And you see he takes a sniff, stops, looks up at you and says, "It smells of almonds."
Indeed. I believe if we search this Hexieger of yours, we will find a vial. You see this residue here? I believe she poisoned the tea to get Benedicta and the Kirkabys out of the way so she could steal the child and incite this revolution.
Dagmar steps forward with the items that they had got from the Hexieger's person. The little book of demon hunting sermons, the ornate cross that hasn't been damaged, and the vial in question. I'm handing this to Quentin and just saying, I think you'll find this that was upon the Hexieger's person probably smells exactly the same, if not stronger.
You beautiful bugger. And he just gives you a kiss, like an excited kiss on the forehead. From your expression, Father, I am glad to see that you did not seem to know of what this person masquerading as one of faith was doing to this village. I know of those of faith, and this is not a righteous move to kill the innocent. No matter what evil you wish to stop, she went too far. And she must face justice.
That is... He leans in towards you and begins talking quietly under his breath. So no one else in the church can hear him except for you two. And he says, "That is all well and good that you have this evidence. But will it convince the constabulary? Would it not have been better had this poison been found upon her person?"
Depending on her state, it still could, if that is, if you are on board as well. A man of faith like yourself could
he gives the most
every decision.
He gives the
It
most
is
like
clearly hers.
subtle of nods. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is totally like, he's not gonna say it out loud, but he's like, yes, this is the plan. It's like that kind of nod.
Yes. The vial back to her, and we shall deliver the tea and the warning to the officers. He says in very quiet, just so again, it's just our little band.
He kind of straightens up. This is the house of the Lord. This is not a place of crime or law. If you have evidence for this murder, might I suggest that you show it to the local constabulary and allow them to mete out justice.
I do not wish to mete out justice myself. That is for the law and for your God.
Then I suggest you hurriedly take your case and ensure the right ears hear it.
Agreed.
We have another very pressing matter that we need to act fast on. So many people from this village are going up the mountain, incited with hate and violence by this woman who's manipulated everybody, murdered your local healer, tried to murder a very noble family within the village, and I believe has also played a part in the destruction of religious symbology throughout your village as well. We need to stop this violence. People will die. We need your help.
Yes. If faith caused this mob, maybe faith can quell it.
He leans in a little bit more. Are the villagers truly in danger?
They try to do this, yes. We believe so.
Give me either an inspiration roll or a manipulation check. You're going to get a +1 bonus to this, whichever one you choose, but it is your choice.
Who's rolling? Quentin.
Quentin, because
you.
Quentin was the chatty catty.
No, not me. I'm so broken.
You got +1.
The thing is, manipulation is one higher, but I don't feel he's trying to manipulate him. He believes that they're in danger. It's going to go inspiration, because it's how I feel. I will take over the one less dice for it, and you just type 1.
Just
I always go to
one.
type +1. So
Yeah, no
I
plus,
always
just
forget.
the number.
Cool. I believe. That's how fucked I am.
Oh shit.
The bonus is the only reason I have a dice to roll.
He frowns at you and says, I must check on the safety of the Hexerjäger and ensure that she is okay. I will leave you to fix this mess.
Thank you for your blessing, Father.
I think we obviously need to put some of this evidence back on the Hexerjäger's person, but do we really trust this priest to be allowed to open the door and potentially release her? Like, do we trust him completely? I don't.
No. No.
So we could take him with us back
Impasse.
downstairs to place the evidence back where it is so he can see that she's there and she's safe, but insist that we keep the keys.
Mm.
Mhm.
Seems
Did-
legit.
Could I hear all that conversation, or was I still?
Parts
Was it
of
all
it.
a little huddle? I
Um,
heard parts of it.
Yeah, any anything that was specifically about setting up the Hexajäger was done very quietly. The rest of it was done a little bit more publicly.
Okay, so
Merely returning the evidence rather than blood.
when I hear that he would needs to see the Hexajäger, Morton will pipe up and say, yes, you may, but you will need to be escorted. And she will remain locked up until our return.
I propose both myself and Quentin quickly escort you down here downstairs to see the Hexajäger, so that you can be confident that she is okay and safe and secure.
Morton does have quite an affinity.
This is my church. I do not need you to take me downstairs to check on the Hexajäger. I think you have a much more pressing need.
Get a vibe that he's trying to dupe us. Not me. Oh, damn it. Why did I say it? Mr. No Dice.
Mr.
We've still got
No
to get this
Dice!
evidence back there, right?
I mean, his
So we should keep it
suggestion...
ourselves.
His suggestion is 100% for you to put the evidence back on the body of back on the Hexajäger.
Well, one of us needs to go down then anyway.
But if we do that, what's to stop the Hexajäger giving the evidence to him so he can dispose of it while we're not there?
Nothing. Unless we get the police immediately. We know there is an officer at Benedicta's house.
You would also know, Quentin, that if you go and get the police right now, you are all going to get pulled in for questioning. Like, you're going to have to give statements and stuff.
Yeah, we can't do that. To save the money, we may need to risk that we are the only ones that know the truth of this
the
crime.
captain and the various members of the constabulary hold Quentin in a very high regard. So is it really going to be that bad if we've got the evidence?
And we were asked to investigate.
Exactly.
So, yes, it becomes our word against theirs, but really, at the end of the day, getting this child to their father is the most urgent matter, not solving the crime.
If we have to sacrifice one, I'd loathe to say it, but
I would.
The lives of this entire village are. At least we know. At least we
Agreed. We should go now with haste.
Just quickly, I'd say just
go. Don't.
You could always return the vial prior to going to the police after dropping off the child, or we just
No, we just do what our plan was.
Say it. Okay.
Okay, so the priest says, I think you have more pressing matters to attend to. What are you going to do?
Well, have this little powwow.
Morton says, feel free to check on the Hexajäger. You are correct. We do have more pressing matters. And I'll turn to lead the child out. Come, child, let's go. To find your parent. And hope that everyone else takes my lead. And I'll head down.
The detective part of me, Quentin, is like... At least we know. At least we know. And just starts muttering that as he leaves.
Just before you leave, the priest says to you, Quentin, your theories will need evidence, else they are naught but words.
But if I do not go now and stop all this, Father, there will be no one left to hear the words. And I will... everything.
Dagmar's gonna retort loudly from the other side of the room of just, your community needs leadership, or or they are not but dead.
Okay, and I imagine that you depart from the church.
Yep.
All right, let me get some sounds going of being not in the tense spooky churchness. All right, you head out. You head out into the strange night. This perpetual. This perpetual night that refuses to be driven off by a sun that never rises. And yet, the birds and the beasts seem unawares of the terrifying situation. The morning chorus sings loudly through the trees, the birds and bees going about their business regardless of the lack of sun. You step out into the churchyard. What will you do?
Before we get moving, Dagmar just wants to quickly ask the child something.
Ooh, yep.
So Dagmar's going to turn gently to the child and just say, when we met your father said he could hear you when you were upset and when you were crying. He'll be overjoyed to know you're safe. But do you have a way to call him? Is there a way you can let him know that we are coming and you are safe?
The little child's eyebrows knit together, and in sort of puzzlement or confusion, and she answers, "Don't know what you mean."
It's worth a try.
Do we know where the mob is currently? Is there a waiting point for them? Where they were waiting for the Hexajaeger?
Well, you can't. Yeah, you cannot see them in the town.
Well, when we were in Benedicta's house, Dagmar watched them head out across the bridge. Then that was the trigger for us to go into the church, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we were watching them leave and waited till the noise died down. So we can answer that question by saying, well, they were leaving the town before we came to the church.
Oh. Yes, when I was otherwise engaged.
Yes. And sort of picking up on Dagmar's thinking when they were speaking to the child, Morton will turn to the child and go, I know you don't quite understand, but can you just say that you are with us and safe and on your way for your return? And it would be helpful if we could get there quicker.
She looks up at you, and with this curious look, and then she lets out a little giggle, and she says, "You're funny, but sure, I can say it, but I feel a bit silly."
That's all right. We can all be a bit silly sometimes. Please, say it.
And she says word for word what you asked her to say. And then she smiles at you and says, "Ta-da."
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was most helpful. Come on, we must be away.
To the mountain!
We need to disguise this child in some way. Like a cloak or anything that we could at least give him?
You've only got the clothes. You've only got the clothes and supplies that you left the train with.
I think we just head straight up there.
Yeah, let's
No,
go. Let's just get
this-
up there and get it. The sooner we get up
are you
there, the
cold,
sooner we
child?
can try and sort it.
Okay. You head up. You hurry out of the churchyard and through the abandoned streets of this town. Following the lamplight so that you can find your way through the sunless streets. You head out of the town following the road that you had done previously. And when you see the path strike off from the main road and begin winding its way up the mountain, you take that route. You continue to climb, surrounded by the trees. But unlike your first journey up the mountain, this one feels very different. It feels like there are eyes upon you, watching you intensely. The trees seem closer together, crowding round the path, closing in. Their branches reaching out like spindly fingers to try and restrain you, grab you, stop you. They cast dark shadows, and the lamplight seems to be strangled. It dims, and the path becomes filled with shadows that dance and flicker. It is a hard-going journey up the mountain. Suddenly, you erupt from this shadowy nightmare of trees and forest. Before you, you see the entrance to the cave. And before the entrance to the cave, you see a mob of villagers. They have torches and pitchforks, whatever weapons they could muster, or whatever things they could muster that they can try to use as weapons. And they stand outside the mouth of the cave, a dark, nightmarish cave mouth that seems to offer nothing but a descent into the dark. They stand outside, muttering and arguing as to what the best course of action is to take. A conversation, a discussion, shouting, opinions. They rip across the scene of this quiet mountainside. But the silence soon falls like leaded weights as you erupt from the trees, and the townsfolk turn to look at you all. 3 strangers from the train and the changeling child. It is not surprise that fills their faces or their eyes. Concern in some, but in others, suspicion. And further still in others, a frightening look of those intent on a darker course of action. What will you do as you stand face to face with the mob?
Morton is going to stride forward confidently and
With child in tow?
and say, "Do you even know why you are here? Do you even know what you have come to face? Those items and weapons in your hand are no weapon against what lies beyond that cave mouth. We know what is beyond that cave mouth, and we will head in there, and we will deal with your fate for you, because it is your fate that stands on the precipice. You carry on with this course of action, and you will die, as will we all. Allow us to go in, and we stand a chance of saving yourselves and your village. And I shall continue walking with the child towards the cave.
It is gonna be. I feel like this is the role of the chapter. No pressure or anything.
No pressure.
Dagmar's gonna offer help, like with additional kind of input.
Yeah,
Dagmar's just gonna say, yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much. But Dagmar's just gonna say, like, talk about the Hexajaeger in a sort of like, people of Borgen. You've been manipulated. You've been deceived. This Hexajaeger has used their hate and anger to incite violence out of all of you. They are the ones who took your beloved healer, Benedicta. They are the ones, we believe, who defaced all your Christian symbology in the village to incite this mob, instill violence, and ultimately leading to people getting unnecessarily hurt.
Okay, give me that manipulation roll, Morton, and you get a +1 from the assist.
Dum 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 dum.
Is this the time to push it? Push it.
Oh, yeah.
Push
You
it real
can.
good.
You can indeed push it. You will need to take a mental condition, and then,
Yes.
you roll again, and then you take the mental condition.
Okay, I
Because
shall
you roll
roll
you roll the same number of dice if you push it.
Okay, so I rolled again. I'll still get the +1.
Yep.
Please.
And I'm going to take the angry mental condition, because I am angry, very angry with this mob for what they are doing and how they have been manipulated.
Okay, and that is 2 successes.
Really? Really?
Oh my god.
14 dice to get a 6. That's just like ridiculous.
Nice for 2.
There are gasps from Dagmar's claim that the Hexajaeger has committed a murder. There are murmurings from people throughout the crowd who realise that there is an opportunity for them here to put someone else in danger instead of themselves. These gasps, these murmurings, they ripple through the mob. And the mob stands and looks at you, and as the ripples and the murmurs and all of these conversations, all of these little internal conversations happen, the mob parts. They don't dissipate, they part. Before you, the path to the cave mouth is clear.
I shall walk through it
Or follow.
confidently, leading the child.
Follow as well.
These eyes upon you as you walk between them. These fear-filled faces, sallow and pale in the strange light. Tears on some, relief on others, anger still simmering. It is a strange passage as you walk through the crowd towards the cave. And a chill runs down your backs as it conjures images of a funeral party walking the aisle. The sounds of nature give way as you step into the cave. The sound of dripping begins to fill your ears, the strange echoing, the wisp of breath that hushes and stutters through the cave, creating the illusion of whispered voices. And as you turn the first corner, you stand face to face with the first statue that you had seen before. There is a little tug on your hand, Morton. And as you turn, you see that the little changeling child has stopped walking and is now staring up at the statue. But it is not fear that grips the face of this child, but a deep curiosity. Why does she stand so still?
I'm afraid she has been frozen in this position. It is a sad story, but not one for me to tell. Do not be afraid. Where we go will help you understand. And I'll gently tug on her arm and start moving again.
She follows you through the cave. She follows you through the cave system, first through the large cavern with the stalagmites reaching up and the dripping pool. Then through the tunnel to the bridge that seems to leap across the chasm as if growing out of the very cave itself. The bridge that you know previously had strange effects on those that passed upon it. But the journey must continue, and you must go deeper into the cave. Curiously, however, on the passing of the bridge this time, there are no strange effects. There is no aging at all. The only thing that happens as you cross over this bridge is a little voice echoes out through the cave. Ooh, this bridge has made me feel all tingly.
Does she look different?
No, she doesn't. But then, neither do any of you. You continue the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adrenaline. You begin to feel a sense of adrenaline, a sense of panic. It isn't driven by fear, but of the sensation of the ticking clock, the running out of time, the falling grains of sand that soon will run out. The adrenaline begins to run. You hurry through the tunnels, past the underground river, through the winding maze of tunnels, crevices, stalagmites, and other cave things. You pass by other statues, until eventually you turn the corner to where you know there should be a door. Or at least the illusion of a door. In fact, you're not even sure how you would describe it. And you certainly don't understand it in any way. As you come round that corner, however, expecting to see the strange threshold Instead, in the wall of the cave are a pair of gigantic carved stone doors with intricate spiraling patterns, and in the very center, a double-headed axe motif.
Well,
Let us enter. Let us find Enzim and reunite them with their child.
you ready, child?
Ready for what?
All will be revealed. We must step through these doors. Hopefully, your father will be beyond, and he will be able to explain everything to you.
And you'll be safe.
And I will look down at her and go, "Are you ready?"
I guess so.
Then come, and I shall walk straight towards the door and push my hand out to push it open.
Okay.
Oh no!
You push.
So nervous.
I just saw the little smile. I was like,
Oh God!
Danger! You push the door, and it swings open, revealing a grand columned chamber beyond. Okay, hopefully. Oh, map time. Pop that there. Quick, click this button. Beep. Okay. And you step into this grand columned chamber lit by these glowing crystalline structures that grow up the walls and up the column. In the very middle of the room is a grand table set for dining. There are stone figures standing frozen in time around the room. And in the throne before the tapestry, this grand dark blue tapestry with the double-headed axe motif on it again, you see, almost like a giant of a man. He is about 7.5 feet tall, with inky black pools of darkness for eyes, but a rather handsome visage overall. As you enter into the chamber, the child says, "Ooh, it's so pretty." The voice of Enzim rings through the chamber. Do my eyes deceive me? Is this yet another illusion? Another dream made corporeal?
Your eyes do not deceive you. Come.
He stands up out of his throne, and he begins to walk the length. He walks around the chairs and begins to approach you all. As he steps towards you, he becomes even taller as you truly realize 7.5 feet is really tall. But he bobs down onto a single knee. Glistening tears roll gently down his face, capturing the crystalline light in this room. And he says, I am so glad to see you safe. When I heard you cry, it was like hearing the ending of all things. He looks up at the three of you, and what of the villagers? I will ask a single question, and I will hear only a single answer. And I will ask of you to speak to me the truth. Did the villagers help or hinder?
The villagers helped. We've proven the one person in question who has incited all this injustice, and they will face justice. The villagers have stood down and allowed us to bring your child to you.
Then I will uphold the end of my bargain. You have saved the life of my child, and therefore I will allow you also to save Organd and all who reside within.
Thank you. We are glad we managed to get your child to you. See you reunited fills the heart with joy.
And I am glad to see that there are still those among your kind who are willing to sacrifice life and limb to protect the balance between our worlds. I will tell you this, for you have earned some trust. There is another great hall. The hall under the mountain, where once upon a throne sat the king of my kind. But it is not just a royal court, but once it was home to your kind. Those that can see the truth of things. They called themselves the Order of Artemis. They are all gone. There are none of them left. Benedicta was the last I knew. But maybe you can start again.
How do we find this hall?
He smiles at your question. You'll need to find the gates of hell. I have a feeling there is a fate about you. Seek out the hall under the mountain, and maybe you will find more answers there. You You have my gratitude and my thanks. But it is as I feared. We are no longer friend with the village, nor the people there. It is time that my kind move on.
Where will you go?
I'm not sure. Maybe we will see each other again.
I
Maybe.
hope so. Just keep them safe. And keep yourself safe as well.
I can keep them safe now because of you. Now go. For I fear only half your tale is complete. And remember,
Justice.
the hall under the mountain. And as he says this, the words echo out a little strangely. And each of you blink. And you find yourselves standing in a cave, looking at a cave wall, unadorned, with naught upon it, but rivulets of running water and the passage of time written upon the stones.
Does the name ring any bells, the hall under the mountain?
No, it doesn't. But
Or the gates of hell. Have we had that reference anywhere?
well, yes, you will have done, because it's the gates of hell.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I mean in context.
No, it isn't. I mean, actually, interestingly enough, there are quite a lot of places that are that have that kind of reference made about them in Scandinavia. There's quite a few like cave systems and things like that have got this sort of hellish nomenclature sitting over them. So it could be any of these sort of places that have these old folk names. But Quentin.
Yes.
There is you are reminded in this moment of a letter that you received. A letter, may I add, that is the cause of all of this.
Yeah, that was I was just looking for if I had the wording for it. But it feels like something to do with this letter. It just rings like when he was saying fate and stuff like that. Feel like we're on the right path. And Espadal could be the place.
Your words echo through the cave as you say.
This is what Max spoke of.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we appear to have stopped a possible Armageddon of this town, shall we? Try to get some justice for Benedicta.
That is why we were investigating. This is was the greater danger, but it's still, we should finish what we started.
Okay.
Yep.
Let us go out and see the mob.
Okay.
Our new friend.
As we leave, as we leave, Morton's going to have a sort of long, kind of a saddened look at the cave wall as he, just before he leaves, just a little nod and a smile, and then walk on.
Dagmar's just holding their sunstone like they do in moments of thought, and is just gently rubbing it between thumb and forefinger.
Quentin just has the satisfaction of bringing a child back to their parent. Feels good.
Feels good, man.
Mm-hmm.
You follow the caves out and back onto the mountain. As you exit the cave mouth, anticipating the sight of the mob, you do not find them.
That's good.
What you do find is clear skies on a bright, sunny day. Warmth spills on you as you step into the sunlight.
As we come out of the cave and there's no mob and we feel the sunlight, can I just like to check the ground. Does it look like there was a mob there at all? Does it look like there's been lots of people hanging around at the front of this cave?
Yes, it does.
Will we not reset again? Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it reset
Like,
again,
oh.
my god.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was
it
my
does. It does look like there has been a mob out the front.
Okay.
But their tracks do seem to turn away from the cave
It's so suspicious now.
and follow the path sort of down the mountain. And you follow these tracks as you descend the mountain and back into the town. They disappear as they hit the path, vanishing as they hit the road. When you come into town, you find that there is a group of people standing in the center of the town. It's not quite the mob. Everything seems much calmer, or at least different. There are several constables standing kind of among the group. And you see that the constabulary are assisting people in like getting themselves home and basically dispersing this crowd and making sure that everybody gets home safely. You know, and you see there's a few people who are, you know, there might be a few people who have got cuts and scrapes and things on the way up or down the mountain and the like, and there seems to be almost like an effort, like a relief effort. Now that the sun has risen, there seems to be some effort from the constabulary to disperse this crowd and get them all to go wherever they need to go. There's no, the captain isn't there, but the constabulary are around.
We take this straight to the captain.
Yes.
Do we wanna? Yeah.
Yes, let's
Straight
get
to
them.
the top.
Let's recruit them, get the captain, and take them straight to the church and present them with our evidence.
I'm feeling rather drained. If I could be the background character, that would be maybe. It would be more eloquent coming from someone else. It has been a long day for me, and I am feeling weak.
But Quentin, you are the investigator. You are the man who needs to solve this case and give us the information and give that to the captain.
But we are a team. We've worked on this together. We can support.
Let's do this as a team. It's been an honor working with you both.
It's not the end.
Let's hope justice is on our side. for Benedicta.
So I think Dagmar would approach the constables in that crowd to kind of sort of make a request of, we think we've solved the case and calmness has descended upon the village. Can you get the captain and meet us in the church as soon as possible?
A flurry of activity follows. Investigations, meetings, crime scene walkthroughs and walkarounds. Evidence is handed over. Testimonies are taken. It is a whirlwind of activity. All of it centered around the group of you providing evidence, providing information, relaying what you have uncovered and what has gone on. The poison found on the Hexajaeger, matching the poison in the teapot. The poison that may have affected Mrs. Kirkby and killed Benedicta.
I was going to say, let's mention Mrs. Kirkby to make sure she's okay.
Assistance is coordinated. Realizing it may be poison, a doctor is sent for to assist Mrs. Kirkby. The Hexajaeger is placed under arrest by the constabulary for suspected murder. There isn't any sufficient evidence provided to also accuse the Hexajaeger of the vandalism, which is still suspicious.
I guess the cross really isn't enough. Just to say they've got a cross that's not destroyed. Why is this the only thing not destroyed?
It's a pretty decent crime to pin.
This whirlwind of activity ends with a much calmer scene. A whistle blows, and the sounds of the train rhythmically moving underneath all of you. A private travelling compartment in which sits 3 individuals on comfy chairs with a table between the 3 of them and a little lamp with a little chintzy lampshade. The door has been slid shut, letting the rest of the train know that the compartment is occupied. On the table is a selection of snack items. A shady looking bottle that contains some sort of liquor, although heavens knows what, and an empty bottle of wine with cups. The lady with the trolley rolls it further down the train to serve the rest of the passengers. The beauty of this train line and the beauty of Norway rushes past fjords and mountains, merged with forests. It is calm, and it is peaceful. And the 3 passengers of the train sit in the carriage with contentment on their faces. Contentment and curiosity. Curiosity as to what they will find at the end of the line. And that is the end of chapter 2.
Yay!
Whee!
story.
Brilliant.
It was a really, really
What a
nice story.
Story,
Very-
Luke.
Brilliant.
Whew,
Absolutely
that was
fantastic.
a ride.
Yeah. GM, you put that together so well.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Thank you very much. And
you for
thank
having
you to our amazing cast who, I mean, I just wrote a whole load of scrabbly notes and made some maps in the amazing Dungeon Fog. It is the cast that bring these stories to life. So a huge thank you to our cast. We're going to have a little wit round. Who are you? Oh, God, now I've got to try and remember my catchphrase.
Come on. Where's your
Who are
catchphrase?
you?
You can do it.
Oh, God. Who are you? Who did you play?
Where can we find you?
Where can we find you? What do you want to say? Oh gosh, where should we start? Div and Ink. Let's start with Div and Ink.
Go on then. I'll go first. So I'm Dan, also known as Div and Ink. I've been playing Dagmar Eriksson, the Vagabond. I can be found on a variety of different platforms. The main one, of course, being Twitch, which I am a variety streamer, also at Div and Ink. Thank you very much for the shout out, Mikey. I can also be found on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, also under Div and Ink. And I guess I just want to say a big thank you again to the GM for putting all of this together. I'm not very experienced in role-playing games, but it has been really, really good fun. A big thank you to Gus and Matt for being so fabulous with their characters as well. It's been really good fun, and a huge thank you to everyone else who's been watching, taking part, and feeding back.
Hey, Quentin, who are you? Who did you play? Where can we find you? What do you want to say?
I am Quentin Ludensberg. I was playing Matt Hopgood.
And this is
Where did the lines
Inception.
blur eventually? The lines blur eventually. But yeah, mainly find me here. I'm still in the works of my mini projects and stuff like that, so nothing to report there just yet. And yeah, huge shout out to the GM and my excellent co-players, because that was so much fun. That was insane. Thank you for trying to fix Quentin, who maybe will push rolls a little less in the future now.
You're gonna
The
live
player understands
less
what a
risk.
commitment that is.
Less risk.
Yeah. But it was wonderful. Thank you all. And I cannot wait to play with you again.
Hey, Gus.
I'm Gus. I've been playing Morton Thorsby. As always, I am on the Instagram and Facebook, but I don't really post, so you're not going to find much information about me there. But it has been absolutely amazing. I've thoroughly enjoyed my my time playing on this, and so thank you very much for the invite, and thank you very much to Luke, the GM, for putting this all together. That was just an amazing story. It was brilliant to be involved in, and I absolutely loved it. And it's great to play with both Dan and Matt. I play regularly on a game with Matt as it is, so it's great. But it's fantastic to play with Dan. For someone who doesn't have any experience in role-play games, took to it like a duck to water. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really
Couldn't
nice
tell.
to play with
Could
someone who sort of to banter off with and what have you. It's just really good. A really good session, and loved all of it. So look forward to doing it all again with some other people as well. So thank you very much again.
I'm going to say a huge thank you to our moderator as well in the chat, which was Mutinous Mikey. Mutinous Mikey, give yourself a shout out. I mean, we're all here on like tenterhooks waiting for it to happen. Mutinous Mikey is I don't really know. Mutinous Mikey, you can catch Mutinous Mikey here playing the rather peculiar Maximilian. And Mutinous Mikey will be live with us next week. Next week we are doing a fabulous one-shot while we prepare for Chapter 3. We're going to do a wonderful kooky one-shot. So we really look forward to seeing you then, where we're going to clash the Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 characters and find out what happens when Quentin and Max finally meet in Espedalen. So do come back next week for more of this ridiculous story and finding out what on earth is going on in Espedalen and the Hall Under the Mountain. We're going to say goodbye to our cast while we give them a little wave. So wave cast, and we're going to head over to the credit roll. So here's the credit roll. All of the amazing people who contributed towards the stream are going to appear in the credit roll. They're also going to appear in the Twitch chat, and they'll be below if you're catching up on YouTube. Please go and check all of them out. They are all amazing contributors to the stream, and it wouldn't be able to happen without all of them. We're really, really thankful, and we're really grateful to be able to work with such amazing artists and creators and content makers out there. While those credits roll up, I'm going to remind everyone that we have started our first ever giveaway. So the first giveaway is for a fully customized map, custom made for you by me and Dungeon Fog. So if you are a DM or a GM, or you know a DM or a GM who might want such a wonderful prize, then you can join in to the raffle by using !raffle and then the number of tickets you would like to buy. Tickets cost 20 XP each, and you earn that while you watch. So it's not going to cost you anything other than a little bit of your time to enjoy our stories. So please, you can either quickly jump in now, or you can wait until next week, where it will be available for the whole stream to join in. We hope to see you next week, as I said, for this for more shenanigans and chicanery as we find out what happens as some of our cast members meet in Espedalen and the story continues. All of our socials are available on our Twitch page, which is below. If you head down into the About section, you should be able to find all the information that you'd ever want about us and the cast. So head down there, follow those socials to keep up to date. Thank you very much to all of our viewers. You are the reason why we tell these stories, and it is lovely to have you with us. We really hope that you're enjoying the dark and mysterious tales that we tell, and we hope to see you again in another ridiculous episode of The Society, where we explore some of these dark fairy tale and folkloric themes in this mythic North, in this mythic Scandinavia. Now, we're going to raid out. Or at least I'm going to try and raid you out to someone. This is like one of our. Oh, thank you. I'm not hearing voices this time. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not hearing voices, but I am being given. I'm being passed secret. But I am being passed secret notes. Are all of these X's here to represent the fact that it's a rude word? Yes. Okay. So we are going. We're going to raid over to G Game Knights. That's Knights as in Knights of the Round Table. So Knights with a K. So G Game Knights. We're going to head over to there where they are playing. They're playing a one-shot that has a rude name. I think it's Fuck Up Little Man. We're about to I'll tell you what, we're about to find out. I've hit the enter button and the raid has been created. So let's raid you all out to G Game Night. Thank you ever so much for joining us, and I hope to see you again next week for more of The Society.